Hi guys, and welcome to this brand new video of PooolTutorials. As many of you keep asking me under the videos, what paper do I use? I decided to make an entire video on it. Since paper is your starting point, you want to be sure to make the right choice. You don't want to realize your masterpiece on toilet paper. So, what paper do I have to use when I draw manga? I basically use three types of paper, starting from printing paper, which is normal printing paper. I use it for sketches, exercises, ideas, and also for name notes, which are storyboard. And I keep all this stuff inside here. This is the secret red case. You don't even imagine what's inside here. Paper B4, which is type B for the letter. And I basically use it for all my illustration and drawings. All the videos I posted on YouTube are on this kind of paper, paper B4. But here we have to speak about the size and the weight of the paper. No man, I'm 1.62 meters per 78 kilograms. What paper do I have to use? Your right paper, huh? Take this. Size first. There is an international standard called ISO, of which the most used size is the A4, like the printer paper. And the greatest advantage of this system, it's the relation from different sizes. If you take an A4, for example, and you split it in a half, like this, you will obtain an A5 with the same aspect. Besides A4, which is the most popular, which is the most used, we have the B4, which is the standard used in Japan, like this, the later type B4, which is the standard for all manga illustration. So all manga artists use this size of paper to draw their pages. Instead, we can say A4, it's a size more for doujinshi. For the weight, I'm just gonna say that basically there are two different weights produced by Japanese brands like Later or Maxon, and there is the 110 kilograms and the 135 kilograms, again like this one. No man! Are you saying you can lift 135 kilograms so easily? Man! Who's this guy? Who is this guy? There isn't really a difference, there isn't a big difference between the 135 and the 110 kilograms paper. The 110 kilograms paper is just a little bit thinner. I prefer to use the 135 because they are really thin, so I don't want to risk to cut the paper when I apply screen tone. So I use the 135, but it's absolutely personal preference. For example, the 110 kilograms, of course, it's a little bit cheaper. You have to try them and choose. Last but not least, our B4 paper again, but this time with tachikiri printed. And this kind of paper, it's really important because it's the kind of paper that all mangaka uses for their final pages, so for their pages that are going to be printed. What you see here, this page has been drawn on this kind of paper. Then this is Maxon. There are a lot of different brands, for example the later which I showed you before, or Maxon, and others which I don't remember. But let's now move on the desk. I'll show you how to use this kind of paper. Here we have our Maxon paper before 110 kilograms. Let's get started and let's open it. And here we have our 40 sheets. As you can see on the paper, there are these blue line which will not be recognized by the printer. So when the page will be printed, you will not be able to see them. This external part, it's, as you can tell, the ruler. On the ruler there are the center marks here on 0 and 0, these external line, small line, which are the center marks and which you don't need to draw, but they are needed by the editor when it comes to center the page in the printing process. Then again on the ruler we have these markers which are the cut-off markers. This one at 11, and okay, this one again on 11, this one on 15.5, and you have on all the 4 angles of the paper, and they represent the end of the page. So what's outside them will not be printed. So let's move inside the page. We have this little first space which is called in Japanese the tachikiri. Tachikiri, it's the space where you should not draw. I mean, yes, you can go over it, over this little space, and draw over it, but it will not be printed because as you can see, it's out the cutoff markers. But some magazines have a larger page, so you may need to use this. It's up the editor. I mean, the editor should explain to his manga artist if to use this space or this space. It depends on the size of the pages of the magazine. Then we have an external part of the page and an internal part of the page, delimited by this line, this blue line. You need this line to create your drawing frames. And here I have an example. This is a manga page I was drawing. This one is on the later, which is a bit different. This line I was showing you, this line, it's needed to create the external part, the external lines of your drawing frame. So basically this is a drawing frame which is delimited by 4 lines. The external frames have to be delimited by this line, this blue line. But there are some cases in which the drawing frame goes outside the page, so you want it to go outside, to continue outside the line. So in this case, it's like just went outside this line. And I can show it to you on a manga, an actual manga. So this is a frame, for example. and you can see this frame, it's inside the internal part of the page, so it's inside this line. This line here finishes exactly on this line, while instead this frame goes outside the page. So you want to draw the line to go outside the page and touch the tachikiri. All you need to know about paper is here in this video. If you have any question, I'll be glad to answer. If you don't find this paper I just showed you in a normal store, just buy them online. They are usually even cheaper. And hey, let me know what you bought and what is your first impression. If you have any suggestion on what the next tutorial should be about, you don't have to do anything special, just leave a comment down here and like, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. See you on the next video.